And hello there, welcome to another edition of the Red October Network. Glad to see everybody's back. Still viewing my videos, thank you. Anyways, I just had a revelation, actually. I wanted to make this vlog as quickly as possible. I just got home from work, and this was because of my friend at work, Will. Thanks, Will. I was talking to him about this, and as you know, we're getting to the point now where college is starting. And the class of 2016 is taking up, they're already moving into their dorms and everything now. I went to Penn State. I was originally the class of 2008, and now I graduated in 2010, and now I'm going to Duquesne for a master's degree. And so while I was talking to Will, I was thinking to myself, what should I tell, because he was asking about college, because he's a senior in high school. And so I was thinking about a bunch of things, so I'm just going to rattle them off. Things that you need to know as a college freshman. First of all, congratulations for getting into college. You're doing one of the best things you can do with your life in pursuing what you love. Now, with that congratulations, I will tell you that college is not all parties. It is not all sleeping in. It is not all leaving everything and doing everything. Nobody's ever going to make you do anything. Teachers are not going to care if you show up or not. For the exams, they can't call your parents. In fact, they're not allowed to call your parents because it's illegal. Yeah, they have to have your permission. You will be put through some of the most strenuous studies that you'll ever do. And I always remember the great Joe Marchesani at Penn State McKeesport, now the greater Allegheny campus. He said, you should be studying 2 to 3 hours for every hour that you're in class. Now, you know, and I bet when you go to your freshman orientation, they're going to say the same damn exact thing to you. Now, I got to tell you that for the most part, it's not true, but in some cases, yes, it is going to be true. And you have to keep that in mind. And that's very, very important because your study habits are going to define what is going to be of you. And I'll give you an example. You know, when I was at Penn State, I let my GPA get below 3. And I had to pull off 4 Dean's List semesters to get it back almost to 3. Now, when you get out in the real world, yeah, that's past college. That's what college is all about, getting a job. You're going to realize that when you have a GPA below 3, you're going to be in trouble because that's the first thing that all employers, especially in this job market, are going to do to weed you out. Now, speaking about the job market, I'm going to tell you something about college. You're probably going to graduate into hopefully what will be a very good economy. I can tell you the classes of 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011, 2012, and probably 2013 are in the worst economy since the Great Depression. And a lot of us have been looking for work. For me, myself, I haven't been able to find something in the field. This is why college isn't a joke. One of the things that you have to realize, though, is that college degrees do not mean a job. I'm sorry. I'll repeat that again. College degrees do not mean a job. It doesn't mean $60,000 a year. It doesn't mean you move up the chain that fast. You're going to have to compete with the most college students at the highest tuitions ever. And you're all going for one job out of 100 applicants. Now, you may be saying to yourself, well, doesn't that mean college is stupid? Well, not really. It's more about making you think, making you elaborate, making you very vocal, to know how to organize thoughts, to know how to study for things. That's stuff that high school won't teach you. And it's a very poignant thing. I mean, you have to have study habits in college. You have to be able to gauge yourself. You have to be able to know how well you learn, and how much you have to study. And it's important that you have study habits Most of the people who drop out of college don't do so just because they can't afford it. You know, the loans are free for the most part until you have to pay them back. But you have to realize, though, that in some sense, those loans are going to be stuck with you for the rest of your life. And they can collect from you. It's 6 figures sometimes. I gotta tell you, Penn State was 160 grand. Duquesne's gonna be $30,000 a year probably. Now, it may not mean anything to you right now, but when you're working a job that pays $12 an hour, which you will if you want to get a job in this world, you are going to have to take that cheap-ass job. And then it becomes painful. So the thing is with it is, you know, don't let those loans define you. Now, I will say about this, there's a lot of people out there who simply believe that college is a waste of time and money and you have to learn a trade to be good. Well, I gotta tell you something, there's a lot of people who learn trades who can't spell. They can't talk, they can't finish sentences, they have bad grammar, they have bad syntax. It's understandable if you're in a trade because they don't really have like a lot of advanced English or math classes. On the other hand, you have no excuse if you're in college not to have that. And you have to be able to elaborate. Now, the one thing I will recommend to you is that in college, you do what you love, but you also realize that there's going to be a really big push for you to get done in 4 years. Now, don't let the college loans, I mean, that is the worst thing. Sallie Mae is a disaster waiting to happen. The college bubble is not really a bubble. People are still paying into it because people still want that. So, but it will burst. So, anyways, we're going to take a little commercial break here, and then we're going to go on to the next segment. So there we go. And hello everybody, welcome back. We're back on air, and thank you for watching that lovely commercial. I love this whole thing with commercials in there, but that's beside the point. So what shouldn't you do in college? Let's just talk about that a little bit. Well, there's one thing you shouldn't do in college, and that's party. Yes, you're going to be in a very large consortium of a lot of people who are your age. Yes, you should get out. Yes, you should have a social life, but please do not get caught underage drinking. Do not get caught with a DUI. Do not get caught peeing on somebody's lawn. Don't go in front of the magistrate, because I can tell you right now, in this economy especially, that's the first thing they can do to disqualify you is get your criminal record. And that shit does not clean up. It is not like anything you could ever do. It does not clean up. And you have to remember that. I've had friends who have got jobs even though they've had a criminal record, but you don't want that. It's a bad thing, because in this economy, 4.0 students in the hard sciences are not getting jobs. People can pick whatever they want, and it doesn't disqualify you from employment. Another thing you should not do is you should not wait until the last second to study for things. You should never, ever, ever procrastinate. Procrastination is something you will get from college, and it's just a genuinely bad idea. It's genuinely bad, because nobody, like I said before, nobody's going to pressure you, nobody's going to wake you up in the morning. You're on your own. And if you're living at home, I should tell you sincerely, tell your parents, don't wake me up, don't cook for me. You know, I'll put gas in the car. That's important. we're at the 10-minute mark right now. So, anyways, I will say this too about work in college. Now, I know there's a lot of people out there who, they're not from well-to-do families. They're not from very good backgrounds, and so they work in college. The one thing I have to tell you is do not let work get in the way of college. College costs too much nowadays to justify going and making a couple extra bucks being a waitress downtown. It just doesn't work. Work 20 hours a week if you want. You can kind of volunteer somewhere and join a club, which is, by the way, a very important thing. The first thing you should do, a lot of you freshmen are out there, you're probably wondering, oh my god, this is such an experience, and it's shocking to be honest with you. And it's very overwhelming. It can be, those first 4 weeks are just confusing right before the first exam. And it's incredible, what happens. But what you should do, the first thing you should do is find something like an activity or a club or something. You will need that. I made the mistake of being completely socially isolated. It costs you friends, it costs you grades, it costs you patience, and it will cost you a job if you don't make friends in college. I'm telling you that right now. It will cost you a lot of things. And there's something you need to do besides drink on a Saturday night. I mean, find a club, find something fun to do. A lot of those clubs are free. And that's just a very, very important thing to relate to. And it's very, very intriguing. It's something you obviously have to do. So we're going to put it that way. I also think too that what you should do is when you are in college, make sure that you have friends. Make sure that you have a network. Make some friends. The best way to make friends is to get to know the people in your building. A lot of times when you're in a freshman dorm, they will try to get you together. They will try to get you to assemble. They will try to get you to make friends. And the dorms are just wonderful. It's a very great place to flourish and to just make it so it's a good thing. And then when you get older, you'll keep those friends and you might graduate with them. I know with my friends, it was good to see them when they graduated. Now, I gotta tell you something too. One of the best things that I found in state colleges, there's a lot of free stuff. And a lot of people in college are very tight on money, and they need stuff to do that's just fun and free. Whatever you can do, just go out. I mean, I found out about the Summa Vasa Arts Crawl, which is in April. They have Move On, I think it's called, Moving On, which is up at Penn State. And just things. Now, I want to make a special note about sports in the wake of the Sandusky scandal. You were representing, I gotta tell you something, when you were in college, you were representing that school in everything you do, regardless of whether you play sports or not. When you are at a sports stadium, when you're on the street, when you're wearing the jersey, when you're wearing a t-shirt that says your college's name on it, you're representing that school. You have to realize that everything you do is going to be under a microscope. A lot of people want to end college. A lot of people want the bubble to burst. A lot of people want to see things kind of disintegrate on it. So that's very important. And finally, I would just say that, when you're in college, You know, you were going to be in one of the most enriching and, you know, enhancing times of your life. You were going to be just immersed in so many different cultures. You're going to be able to take classes that you want. And by the way, I hate to skip on this, but I gotta tell you something about the classes, and this is very, very important. The classes that you get C's in are more important than the classes you get A's in. And I'm going to tell you this right now. You should always cherish when a professor drives you freaking crazy. It's very important. Because when a professor drives you crazy, you're really getting something out of it. I cannot tell you how many people have taken worthless degrees and now they're baristas at Starbucks and all that bullshit bingo stuff. And it's a very just strange thing, because I've gotten to the point now where I've been out of college for 2 years and now I'm getting back in. And you're going to realize that. And it's a tremendous thing. So anyways, I just want to say to the class of 2016, enjoy college wherever you are. If you're at Duquesne, stop by. Just, if you see me on the street, say hello. Say I watch the Red October Network, you know, and have a good time and learn a lot, think a lot, write a lot, read a lot. Most of all, be yourself. Make it the best. It's worth it. So that's it. Thank you for watching Red October Network. We'll see you guys later.